All right, I hope this is working. Hi, and welcome to Travel Tuesday with Blue Planet Scuba. I'm your host, Heather, and I'm so excited to tell you about the trips we have scheduled for next year. 2021 kind of threw us for a loop, like it did with everybody, and so a lot of the trips that we had planned for 2020 have been pushed back to 2021. So next year is packed full of amazing adventures, and I hope you can join us for one or several. Feel free to go ahead. We're live right now, so feel free to go ahead and put questions or comments into the chat on Facebook or Instagram. Even once the live is over, we'll do our best to answer those and get back to you. But without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you what we have in store for next year. So give me 1 second here, and I will share my screen. All right, hopefully that is working for everybody. So yeah, our first trip is going to be Mexico. We're actually headed down to Playa del Carmen over the Martin Luther King holiday weekend. So that is a Saturday through Wednesday, January 16 through 20. And we're really excited to get back down to the Yucatan. We love that area. And we're also doing something new with this trip. So we haven't been able to really run our classes like we usually do. So we're trying something a little bit different. We're going to be running the whole open water diver certification course in Mexico on this trip. So that is the confined water, the open water, all in one go. So if you are somebody who is not certified yet and you've been thinking about it, or maybe you have a friend who's been considering it, bring them on this trip. It's going to be awesome. It's completely open to certified divers as well. So anyone can come, and it's going to be a great time. We're even looking at adding a few days at the end of the trip to go visit the cenotes while we're down there. So this is going to be a perfect little winter getaway. We hope you can join us. We do still have spots available. This trip is on our website right now. So check it out on the group trips page. And then in February, we are headed to St. Eustatius, otherwise known as STATIA. I just talked about this on Travel Tuesday last week, so you can find out all about it there. Check it out. It's on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But we're really excited. This is a week-long trip. It's over the President's Day weekend. So if you get that day off, you only have to take 4 days off from work. And yeah, we're thrilled to get back to STATIA. It just has incredible diving. It's a super chill little island. You fly to St. Martin and then take a small plane over there. This trip has everything. Meals are included, nitrox is included, boat rides are about 10 minutes. So everything's really close to where we're staying. One thing to note here, we do recommend that you have advanced open water at a minimum for this trip. It's just because most of the dive sites start around 55 or 60 feet. So we're not spending a whole lot of time in the shallows. If you don't have advanced, we can definitely run it on the trip for you, but it is something that you want to have just to make sure you can get the most out of your dives there. So again, we're looking forward to going back to STATIA in February. That's a Saturday to Saturday. And we still have, I want to say, 2 or 3 spots left on that trip. So I hope you can join us for that one. In March, we are going back to the Galapagos. So I also talked about the Galapagos on Travel Tuesday a few weeks ago. So check that out if you want to find out everything that we're doing on this trip. So basically, we had 2 trips to the Galapagos that we were supposed to do in 2020 that were pushed to 2021. One's in March, one's in May. And both trips we're on a liveaboard, the Aggressor Galapagos liveaboard, from Thursday to Thursday. And then if you want to go ahead of time and see some topside stuff in the Galapagos, we're going to be going to Isabella Island. So flying down to Ecuador on Saturday, transferring to the Galapagos, hanging out on Isabella Island for a few days in advance, then meeting up with the liveaboard, being on the boat for a week. And then for people who still have time afterwards, we're actually going to be heading to the Ecuadorian Amazon and staying at the Napo Wildlife Lodge. And it is amazing. Now, you don't have to do those side trips. Those are just for people who have extra time and you're all the way down there. You might as well make the most of it. But we do still have spaces left on both boats. So I believe we have 2 spots left for March that just opened up. We have some people switch to the May trip. And then we also have spots left on our May trip, which I'll show you here in a minute or two. So all of that information is online. I really hope you can join us. It's going to be amazing. The Galapagos is truly just such an epic experience. It should be on everyone's bucket list, and we cannot wait to go back. And yes, They are running trips to the Galapagos right now. It is open. They have really strict protocols in place, which we think is great because it's helping protect everyone. So as of now, we are planning to go in March and in May. April, now this is something that we haven't shared yet because we're still putting it together, but we are currently planning to go down the beginning of April to go visit our friends in Dominica. Dominica is another one of those Caribbean islands that not many people have heard of, but it is truly amazing. It's called the Nature Island, and for good reason. The top side is gorgeous. There's incredible hiking trails, just really fun stuff topside, and underwater is beautiful as well. They get sperm whales coming in close to shore here because it drops down really quickly, the depth, and it's just spectacular diving. And what's cool that Dominica is offering is a safe in nature program. So, you know, like with all of these destinations, you do need to take a PCR test in advance. Will test us upon arrival, and then we actually quarantine at Jungle Bay, this beautiful hotel right down in Soufriere, and we can still dive with the Nature Island Dive Center, and we can still do tours with the hotel. So we can get out there, you can see some of the best that Dominica has to offer, and still do so safely. Once the quarantine is lifted, then you could go and you know, hang out in town or go, you know, mingle with the locals. But for most of the time that we're there, we're gonna still be able to dive, still be able to see Dominica, but just do so kind of our own little traveling bubble. So look for details on that coming soon. That's not on our website yet. It's something we're still finalizing everything with. So I hope you can join us for that too. That's going to be the beginning of April, Saturday to Saturday. And we can't wait to get back down and visit our friends. Like I mentioned, we also have Galapagos in May. So it's the exact same itinerary, just a couple of months later. So we still have spots available on that trip too. Hope you can join us for that. If you have questions about any of these, again, feel free to drop them in the chat. I can't see your chat right now, but I'll do my best to answer them once I'm done going through some of these slides, and then also I can answer them later. Also in May, over Memorial Day, we're going to be headed back to Indonesia to dive Komodo. Like, I know this is another area on many divers' bucket lists, and we cannot wait to go. We're going to be diving from the Aurora All-Star liveaboard. It's a beautiful boat. We're going to be diving all around the islands. Yes, we're going to be able to go and see the Komodo dragons, which I know is on everyone's list as well. And the diving here, this is more challenging diving. There are usually some pretty stiff currents, so we do want to have experienced divers coming on this trip. You know, so at least advanced, ideally 50 or so dives under your belt, and some experience with currents would be great. And like with all of our trips like this, where we have to go a little bit further away, we're going to be adding on a few days, possibly before and possibly after, see some of the land-based sites. So I know a lot of people want to visit Bali, Ubud, and just check out some of the other areas and things to see, and maybe even get a little more land-based diving in. So that is open right now. You can go ahead and jump in. We still have a few spots left, so that is on our website. Go check it out, and I hope you can join us for that one. Oh, and then at the end of June, this is a trip we had planned from the beginning. It wasn't one that was rescheduled. Or actually it was, I take that back. We were supposed to go this past year, but it's been rescheduled now to the end of June, beginning of July, so over July 4th. We're going to be going back to the Philippines. This is one of my very favorite areas to dive. We're going to be staying in Dumaguete with our friends at Atlantis, and it is absolutely incredible. The diving is primarily muck diving, like you can kind of see in this photo. That means it's not like you're diving on a regular coral reef. It's kind of a sandy or silty bottom. But the life that you see there is incredible. Like this mimic octopus. I remember on one dive, we saw 7 different cephalopod species. You just see the most amazing stuff. And we do still go and dive some beautiful coral reefs. We'll go to Apo Island at least one day, if not 2. And this trip is actually 10 nights. If you want to get the most diving for your money, this is a trip to come on, because when we stay at Atlantis, we're doing 5 dives a day. Now, you don't have to do all of those, but you're going to want to. It's 5 dives a day. It's all land-based. All the boat rides are like 10 minutes away or less. All your meals are included. This is a really spectacular trip. And especially if you are a photographer, you should definitely plan on coming on this one. It is the perfect place to really practice getting some incredible macro shots, bring the wide angle lens for Apo. Awesome. So we still have some spaces left for our trip to the Philippines at the end of June. What's next? Cuba. Oh, Cuba. We were supposed to be going there for New Year's this year, and that fell through. So we have postponed it. We will be going at the end of July, beginning of August. This has been on our list for a long, long time. We're going to be diving on a beautiful liveaboard and doing the Gardens of the Queen Marine Park. It's supposed to be some of the best diving in the Caribbean, and we are thrilled. We do still have a few spots left. This trip is Saturday to Saturday, but they want us to arrive, as of now, to arrive on Friday before the trip begins in Havana and overnight there before we travel to go meet the boat. So again, this trip is something we've been really looking forward to. This one's a little bit different though. You're not going to see it on our website in the usual place with the other group trips. I'll make sure there's a link to it from our group trip page. We do have it. If you look under news, it's listed there on our blog. But for this trip, you don't register through us. You tell us that you intend to come, you give us a check, and then we send your check on to the Oceans for Youth Foundation. They are the host for this trip. So it's all run through them. So if you have any questions about that, definitely look over the trip page on our website and get in touch with us. Like I said, we still have a few spots left, and we'd love to have you join us. We are so excited to go to Cuba. So that will be the beginning of August. And then at the end of August, this is a trip that was rescheduled. We are headed to the Red Sea. We will be diving in Egypt again. This will be our third time there, but this time we're really excited to be diving the northern reefs and wrecks. We've done the South and the Deep South and Brothers, but we'll be diving with our friends at Blue O2 again from a liveaboard and exploring a whole new area to us. And we're really looking forward to that. Of course, we have a land-based adventure added on. This time, instead of doing a Nile River cruise and hanging out in Cairo for a few days, we're actually going to go all the way up to Alexandria and dive some of the ruins there. So it's going to be epic. We're so excited. That trip is currently full. However, if you're interested, put your name on the wait list because spots do open up. People's plans change, lives change. So, you know, it can't hurt to put your name on the wait list just in case. Also, at the beginning of September, we're going to be diving Bonaire again. This is one of my very favorite places in the world. We go back to Bonaire every single year because it is just so spectacular. I think one of the things I love most about it is that in addition to boat diving, you can do shore diving. So you can really dive as much as you want. You're on your own schedule, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful island. And we're really excited. The whole reason we're going back in September is we're hoping that our good friends, Ned and Anna Deloche, will be there, giving their marine life presentations and dives and courses. So if you are a fish nerd, this is a trip to go on. You're going to have a blast, and we cannot wait to go back. We'll be staying with Buddy Dive. This is Saturday to Saturday over the Labor Day weekend. So we still have, I want to say it's just like 2 spots for this. So if you're interested, jump on there quickly. And this is posted on our website as well. All right, next up, at the end of September, we are going to Guadalupe, Mexico to go dive with the great white sharks. I know this is on a lot of people's bucket list. We're really excited for this trip. This again was one that was rescheduled from 2020. And in this case, we're going to be flying to San Diego, taking a private bus south of the border, and then hopping on the Solmar 5 liveaboard to get out to Guadalupe. And this is cage diving. So you're not actually, you don't need to be scuba certified for this. So if you have a friend who isn't certified, but who is dying to see great whites, this is such a cool way to do it. It's one of, I think, 4 places in the world that you can dive with great whites. And it just looks absolutely incredible. So we hope you can join us. We still have spots available for this one as well. You'll notice it's a little bit shorter just because there's only so many days you can hop in and out of a cage diving with great whites. But it's going to be fantastic. The Solmar 5 is an awesome boat. They take great care of us. So looking forward to that one as well. All right, what's next? Okay, so the next couple of trips, we don't have scheduled yet. They're not like completely 100% done, but they're things that we are looking at doing for both October and November. We are looking at going back to Ceiba, which is another little amazing secret island in the Caribbean. For those of you who don't know about it or haven't been there, it is really a special place. It's this teeny tiny island full of these quaint little villages all over. It's very up and down, great diving underwater. But we're excited to go back. We're hoping we can go back in October because that's when they have their See and Learn educational month of programming. They have speakers and scientists and researchers coming from all over to talk about the amazing work they're doing towards conservation. And you also get to do some really neat hands-on activities. It is just a really cool time to be there. The diving is great. The topside is beautiful. The food is amazing. So we're hoping that we can put that together and sneak back off down to Saba in October. Details on that will be coming up soon. So if you're interested in any trip that we don't currently have posted yet, that's not available for you to register for, just send us an email and say you'd like to get on the wait list for that trip. That way, as soon as we have it available to book, we will email you first. So you get first dibs before we make it public for everybody else. So that's a great way to, if there's somewhere you're dying to go and you're like, yes, I want to be on that trip, go ahead and email us now. We'll add you to the wait list and we'll let you know as soon as it's available to book. So that goes for Saba. That also goes for the next trip. We're hoping to head back down to the Sea of Cortez next year. We just got back from doing this incredible trip last month. We've been to Baja a number of times, but this was the first time that we actually got to explore via liveaboard. So we were on the Valentina and we got to dive Cabo Pulmo and all around La Paz. We got to play with the sea lions multiple times. We got to snorkel with whale sharks. It was just an epic trip and we loved it so much. We can't wait to go back. Although this time we're hoping to do something a little bit different and special. We're actually working with the Valentina boat to put together a special itinerary that would let us spend a few extra days at the end of the trip to go all the way around to the other side of the peninsula on the liveaboard and catch the Mexican sardine run in Magdalena Bay. If you haven't heard of this, go look it up. Go search for it, Google. It's incredible. This is not diving, you're snorkeling for this. So you're on the surface, but you're in a little boat chasing these bait balls. You jump in the water and the animals you see, it's just phenomenal. We didn't get to do it this year. We missed it, but we had some friends who have seen it and sent us their photos. They're seeing striped marlin. There are, of course, sea lions. There are whales swimming by. There are orcas that come to visit. I mean, you never know what you're going to see, but that's what makes it so exciting. So we're hoping that next year we'll be able to add a few days on to check out the Mexican sardine run, in addition to diving some of the incredible sites in the Sea of Cortez. So again, this one isn't posted yet, something we're working on. If you're interested, go ahead and shoot us an email and we will add you to the wait list for it. And finally, next New Year's, we are so excited to be going to COCOS. This will be a first time we've run a trip there. And for those of you who don't know, these are some islands off of Costa Rica. So you fly into Costa Rica and then we're gonna hop on a liveaboard. And it is a long crossing to get there, but it's worth it. The life you see is spectacular. This is where you go if you want to catch the big stuff. So hopefully schooling hammerheads, lots of massive schools of fish. It's just supposed to be, again, it's on a lot of divers' bucket lists. So we're really excited to go to COCOS. This is over New Year's next year. And again, you'll notice that is a little bit longer than a week. They add in the travel time on either end for the boat. So we have a good sized wait list for this one going already. We'll be posting this one in the next week or two. So these are all of the trips we have on the books right now, or the big trips we have scheduled for next year. I know a lot of people can't make it to a full week-long or 2-week even trip. So they're always looking for long weekends. And that is something we love to do as well. We're waiting to schedule some of those long weekend trips as we get a little further into the year. So be on the lookout for, those kind of 4-night weekend getaways, more trips down to Mexico. We want to go see our friends in Grenada and dive with them. It's spectacular diving, a beautiful island. Other places in the Caribbean, even down to Florida. We'd love to get back down to West Palm Beach and dive the Blue Heron Bridge with our friends down there. So there are more opportunities. There will be more added. I just wanted to give you a sense of some of the big trips we have coming up. As for what's after 2021, We do have some exciting things in the works. I don't have slides for them, but I can tell you about them. In 2023, in October, we're planning to go to Oman. We had planned to do that in 2020, sorry, that's 2022 October that we're going to do that. We plan to do that next year, but as you can see, our schedule's kind of full. So we'll be heading to Oman in October of 2022. Socorro has also been floated. I know if you don't know about Socorro and all the amazing things to see there, go take a look on our website and look at some past trip reports. I think we have a great video on YouTube. It's an amazing place off of Mexico. Have to get there by a liveaboard again, but if you want to play with giant mantas and have them swim in your bubbles and just see some incredible big animals, Socorro is a really awesome place to go. I think for 2023, we're looking at going back to Tubataha in the Philippines, which I'm really excited about. We have a lot of other surprises in store, so you know, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll be sure to keep you notified about those. All right, I'm going to stop sharing now. Let's see if this works. All right. So, yeah, so hopefully, I don't know if you can see my screen or not. There we go. Okay, looks like I'm back now. So yeah, if you have questions, like I said before, if you have questions about any of these, feel free to get in touch with us. You can drop a comment into the chat here, even once the live is over, and we'll do our best to answer all of those. You can send us a direct message on Facebook or Instagram. You can email us. You can give us a call. We just hope that you'll be ready to get back underwater and come blow some bubbles with us in 2021. We're really excited about it. And thank you again. Next week, we are planning to do another Travel Tuesday, and we're going to be focusing on, we want to get your questions. If you want to find out what it's like to travel right now, what kind of restrictions are in place, you know, what you need to plan for, especially thinking about scuba travel in the times of COVID and how to do so safely. Plan to join us next Tuesday at noon, and we'll see if we can get a special guest for that one too. But that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and we look forward to seeing you underwater soon.